Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you're doing all good today. You're welcome to class. You are welcome. So, um, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I will just get right into it. I hope you all are doing great today. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you had a wonderful day. Please, um, if you can help me do something for those who are not in the class, please write them a message that we're in class right now. So, what I'll be doing today, I'll be doing something a bit different. Okay, so what I'll do basically is to go back on the things that we have done so far because at this point we are almost at the end of SEO, Google Ads, and whatnot. By tomorrow, I'm going to take you through the Google Ads platform, show you how it works and how to set up a campaign. Yesterday, I received some questions about things that we've done some weeks back, and I think I understand, because it takes about 2 weeks before I get to take on another class, and that can be quite a while. So what I want to do today is to go back on the things that I've done initially, way back from introduction to SEO. I'm going to be really fast, really really fast. That way it's more like a summary where we get to see where we started and where we are at the moment. Yeah, I think that would be great. So I'm going to run through it really fast, and then we're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday, and then by tomorrow, we're going to look at how the Google Ad platform works. That would be quite a brief class, because at this point you should be working on, your project, trying to create experiences from the things that you have learned, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So for those who are not in class, please beckon on them, tell them that it's going to be an interesting class today. We're going to, like I said, look through all the things that we've done throughout this session, give you a complete summary of everything, so everything gets to make sense. So you know where we started, where we're at the moment, and then, like I said, what we're going to be looking at by tomorrow. So without further ado, I will share my screen so we can get started. I can see some people are coming in. You're welcome. Welcome. Okay, so I'll share my screen right away. Let's get straight into the lessons for today. So yesterday, this was where we stopped. We stopped at slide 24, where we wanted to look at types of Google Ads campaign. Yeah, this is something that you should be familiar with by now because I spoke about it before getting to this point. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to take you through what we have done down to this point. So first we looked at um, on-page SEO. So let's take a look at what we have here on page SEO, which was the first topic we looked at basically. So we looked at what on-page SEO is and basically what search engine optimization is. So just to be sure, we're in class and everyone can see me. Yeah, of course, we're still in class. So let's get right into it. So what is search engine optimization? So this is what we got started with. We spoke about SEO. Um, we looked at some of the aspect of SEO, and like I said in this class, we're just going to do a fast run through so we can get a glance of where we started and where we're at the moment. So search engine basically is the process of optimizing a website to improve its visibility on search engine result pages by improving a site's SEO. It becomes more likely to appear on the top of the results when users search for related keywords. SEO is essential for driving organic traffic, increasing brand visibility, and ensuring long-term online success. Now, if you remember from the class we did yesterday, we spoke about SEM, which is search engine marketing. And Search engine marketing also helps businesses get to the first page of Google, but then it's paid. Now you at this point you get to see the relationship between SEO and SEM. Basically, they help businesses get to the first page of Google, but for SEO, it's something that you achieve organically. But with SEM, you have to pay for your business for your ad to be listed on the first page of Google. Now, that's the major difference between SEO and SEM. And as a business, you can use them both. Now, what's organic traffic? So it refers to visitors who land on your website as a result of unpaid or organic search. So for SEM, using Google Ads or using Bing Ads, it's not organic, you have to pay. But for SEO, it is organic. Now, we looked at the characteristics. It's unpaid, it's relevant, it's SEO driven, and it has long-term impact. Now, unlike SEM, where once your budget is exhausted, your website or your ad stops to it stops delivering to people because you have exhausted your ad budget. But for SEO, because it's organic, it keeps ranking. You just need to ensure that you are delivering relevant content. Now, why is organic traffic important? I mean, it is cost effective, it is high intent, cost effective. You don't need to pay any money. Like here it says it doesn't require ongoing payment like paid ads, which makes sense, from what we looked at yesterday. It has high intent, brand credibility. Now, this the importance of SEO. We looked at it. It's a cost-effective marketing strategy, helps you to build credibility and trust, mobile optimization, quality traffic generation, and it also enhance your visibility. Now, ways you can increase your organic traffic, we spoke about this. You need to create valuable content. You need to use the right keywords that people are searching for. Now, on for SEM, you also need to use keywords that people are searching for. So in both cases, you need to use the right keywords. Now you need to look at on-page SEO, technical SEO, and backlinking. These are things we looked at. And now how search engine works. We looked at how search engine works, how the spider bots gets to crawl websites on the internet. After it's done crawling this website, it has to index this website to see the content that are on them before ranking them based on certain criteria. Now, looking at the categories of SEO, we looked at on-page SEO. We looked at on-page SEO, which basically, so let me read through this. It refers to the practice of optimizing individual web pages to improve their search engine ranking and attract more relevant traffic. That's basically what on-page SEO means. And basically, it involves, you making changes to your website, adding um, the other time we looked at Yoast. So basically, it involves you ensuring that your content is well structured. You have keywords rightly placed on your content. You also have your images on your page optimized and a couple of other things. Now, these are ways you can improve your on-page ranking. Now, the key components of on-page SEO. First, you need to be offering good and quality content. And these are, things you can do in order to ensure that you are offering quality and optimized form of content. Now, you also need to use your title tags effectively. You want to make sure that you use H1 for your main title, and then for other titles, you use H2 and other relevant headings. Now, meta description, you want to ensure that you have a meta description on your page. We looked at this when I showed you my website and how I was able to optimize a page or a blog post on my website. So it's important that you have your meta description that basically gives an overview about that page. Now, these are the best practices. So once you read through all of these things, will start to make sense. You want to ensure that you have a good and clean URL structure that people can easily read, and search engine as well. Now we looked at header tags. Keyword optimization, we spoke about this, where you want to ensure that keywords are strategically placed on your content, and you also need to use synonyms for your content to rank. Now, best practices. Now we looked at internal linking. Internal linking. What this means is that when you are linking to various pages on your website, so when you have blog contents on certain topics and they are related, you can easily link to these pages on your website. It also helps search engine to find new pages on your website, which is great, and it's actually something that search engine likes. And it also helps your website to build more authority for a certain keyword or for um, in that niche, basically. Now, we looked at image optimization. It's important that when you're uploading an image into any website, in the server, you want to ensure that the image is optimized. It is reduced to as it's actually reduced. Basically, it should not be more than 150 kilobyte or so. Just try to make sure it's reduced. That way, it's easy for your website to load faster and it doesn't affect your load time. Now, page speed optimization. Now, there are a couple of things you can do in order to optimize your page speed. You want your website to be loading super fast when someone is trying to access your website. It's great for usability, and search engine likes the fact that you can ensure that your website is fast. Now, mobile friendliness. We looked at mobile friendliness where I showed you, how a website looks on mobile and how it looks on desktop. So you want to ensure that you are able to maintain this experience across all boards. Now, for schema mockup, yeah, it's a code that you add to your website, that helps search engine to understand the context of your content, basically. So it's a structured data that you have to add to your website, to help search engine better grasp what that page is all about. Now, why on-page SEO matters? The reason why it matters is it improves users' experience. It has direct impact on ranking, and it increases visibility and your click-through rate. Now, we looked at some tools for on-page SEO. We have, Google Search Console, which monitors your site's performance and provide insights. We also have used SEO for WordPress. I showed you how this SEO tool work and then how I used it to optimize some pages on my website. SEMrush, we looked at um, SEMrush, and then it's a paid tool. You can actually try it out. Basically, just exhaust the free trial so you get to understand how this tool works. All of these things that I have said about on-page SEO, you will see this option on SEMrush and on some of these SEO tools, so you can easily try out these tools and then see the results that it will deliver. Now here is href, and here we're on the last slide. Now, the summary of on-page SEO. On-page SEO is fundamental to improving your website's search engine visibility and user experience. By focusing on optimizing content, meta tags, URL structure, images, and other elements, you can increase your chances of ranking higher in search results and attracting more targeted traffic to your site. Now, this is just the summary of what we did on page SEO. So I'm going to head back to class. Um, so at the moment, I just ran through what we did on the first week. I just ran through what we did on the first week. So I would want to see your comments. Okay, let me know what you think. Let me know your experience so far. I know I've gone through this a couple of times, and with this repetition, I am sure at this point you have a good experience of what on-page SEO is, how it works, and you can confidently speak about on-page SEO. Yeah, of course, I'm not sharing my screen right now. I want to communicate with the students. I want to hear their feedback at this point. I think I've explained this a couple of times. I just want to hear their feedback just to be sure, they properly understand this concept that I have been explaining. So, okay. Okay, I see one of our students, Comfort. Today was her POP. Okay, congratulations, Comfort. It's not easy, basically, getting to complete your youth service. Congratulations. I see, your the students are actually congratulating her. Congratulations, Comfort. Wish you success. So now let's get back to class. I want us to interact. I want to see your chat. So if you know basically at this point you have a good understanding of what on page SEO is, I want to see you type on page SEO. I want to see you type on page SEO on the chat. I've gone over this a couple of times. Doing this will just help cement this knowledge in your mind, and with a lot of repetition it becomes something that you are really, really comfortable with. So let me see your comments. Let me see your comments. Let me see your comments on page SEO. Let me see your comments. I'm not seeing your comments. Is it that the things on page SEO you don't really understand it? Please let me see your comments. All right, thank you. I've seen your comment, Yola. Okay. I see. Adenike says she understands better, but sir, can this SEO for website be done with our phones? Because that has been our biggest restriction. Now, gracious, now, okay, I can see your comments. Thank you. It seems I'm actually happy that at this point, with a lot of repetition, you now understand this. Now, SEO cannot be done with your phone majorly. So it's important that as you are taking this class, you are making plans to invest on a computer system. Okay, great. I can see your comments. I really happy, that at this point, how we going to page to you? Basically, this year practice is done. Okay. Peace says she has good understanding on page SU. Thank you very much for that comment. It's really, really great to see that a lot of us at this point we have good understanding of what on page SEO is, and we're going to be moving to off page SEO, technical SEO that involves a bit of technicality, but then with some of the explanations that I've gone over, it should give you a good idea of what off page SEO is. And when you carry out an analysis on a website using tools like Href, SEMrush, or Uber Suggest, which was the one we used the other time, you would get to so for you actually receive some recommendations basically, and I can tell you for sure that when you see these recommendations, they are something that you are familiar with. They are things you have heard. They are things that you can find your way around it. Please, of course, of course. So what I'll do is at this point, I've actually shared some of these materials, but then I will still share it once more. So what I'll do at this point, I will combine all this material. I'm going to add them to a folder and then send it over to the teaching assistant so they can send it to you. So, that way you just have everything on one folder. Okay, great. I can see your comments. I can see your comments. Great. I'm happy to know that at this point, you have a good understanding of what on-page SEO is, and some things that you have to look out for when it comes to optimizing a website to ensure that it is well optimized. It can rank well on search engine results pages. Yeah, good understanding about using the right keywords will give you an edge over other sites. Of course, you want to make sure that you are getting your website across to people who are in need of your services. Okay, that's basically what it means. Yeah, me, of course, that's right. Keywords are really important. You do not want to rank for a keyword that is not related to your brand. You do not want to rank for such keywords. Okay, so at this point, we have looked at the summary of on-page SEO. Now we're going to take a look at the summary of off-page SEO. So I'm going to share my screen so we can look at what off-page SEO is. So let's take a look at what off-page SEO is. I'm sharing my screen right away. So what is off-page SEO? So for on-page SEO, like I explained, these are things that you do on a page in order to help you to rank better and get it to show on the first page of Google. Now for off-page SEO, it refers to all the activities and action that are taken outside of your own website to improve its search engine ranking. It involves various strategies to increase its site's authority, relevance, and trustworthiness in the eyes of search engines and users. Now, unlike on-page SEO, which deals with optimizing elements on your website, like the content and HTML, off-page SEO focuses on building relationships and enhancing the website's authority and reputation across the internet. Now, offline SEO, I'll go over this again. So it sticks. Now it refers to activities that are taken outside of your website. If you remember carefully on SEO practicals, I took you to my website to a blog page that I wrote a few years ago, and I showed you how I was able to implement some of the things that we did in class on that web page in order to optimize that website. Now, that's because it's on page. For off page, let's take a look at some of the key elements of off page SEO. Now, the first is backlinking. I spoke about backlinking a couple of times, help you understand what backlinking is and showed you some examples of what backlinking is. What is backlink? This is the process of acquiring links from other websites to your own. Backlinks are also known as inbound links are crucial for SEO because they act as a vote of confidence from other sites. Now, search engines, especially Google, view backlinks as endorsements. The more quality backlinks you have, the more authority your website gains, which can significantly improve your ranking. Now, if you remember, when I was talking about on-page SEO, I spoke about internal linking. Now, for internal linking, it's a situation whereby you link to various pages that are on your website. But for backlinking, what happens with backlinking is you are now linking to websites that are not a part of yours. So what you're doing is that they have a great resources there that will be beneficial to your audience. So what you would basically need to do is to get the link from that post or from that website and then attach it to your website to serve as reference or to give more insights on what you are trying to explain. Now, doing this, what you are doing is you are building backlinks. Now, once a website has a lot of backlinks, and here it says Google sees this as a it says this as a form of endorsement, and the more quality backlinks you have, it actually helps to improve your domain authority. Now, let's take a look at the strategies for building backlinks. Strategies for building backlinks. Give me a minute or even less. Let me get some. Okay, I'm back. Uh, Okay, please ask the question. So I'll just respond to this question before I get back to class. Now she says, will backlinks not lead our users to another website? A possibility that the user will not come back to our website. So how this works is now what happens is that okay, when you are linking to another website, there are quite a couple of ways you can actually do this. Okay, Now, there's a way you can create a link on your website, and when someone clicks on that website, what it does is it opens another tab on their browser, so it doesn't take them to their website entirely, and then it shuts them off your website. So what happens is that it leads them to another tab, so they can easily move back to the content that they are reading on your website. So that's why it's important that you set the right URL structure that is going to take them to another tab, so they do not leave your website. Now that's a good question piece. So there's a way you can actually do it. So you want to ensure that it opens on another page. Where if you're working with a content management system like WordPress, you see an option that can help you achieve this. Now back to the notes. Now let's looking at some strategies for building backlinks. We looked at guest blogging, where you write articles for other websites. I spoke about this. Booking link building, content marketing and outreach, where you get to reach out to um, influencers, bloggers, and then request for backlinks. Social signals. Now, what are social signals, or what is a social signal? Now, these are likes, shares, comments, and overall engagement your content receives on social media platform. Now, this also has an impact on your ranking. This also has an impact on your ranking. So you want to ensure that while you are building your content, you also have a good social media presence, because there are people mentioning your business. There are people that are using your hashtags, or for some reason people are mentioning the name of your business. Now are these social signals are actually great, because it helps you to it's actually great for your domain entirely, and it helps improve your ranking. Now, here are some strategies that can help you improve your social signals when you create and share valuable content, and when you encourage social sharing, and when you engage your followers and you build an active social media presence. Now, the next one here is brand mentions. Now, the definition here is references to your brand, products, or website on other sites, even if they do not include a direct link. So even if they do not include a direct link, which means backlinking, but then this these are bots, search engine bots, knows how to read, so they are able to detect these mentions on other websites. Um, Now, influencer outreach and collaboration. So, partnering with industry influencers or experts to promote your content, product, or brand. Now, influencers have established audiences and authority. Collaborating with them can enhance your reach, credibility, and backlink profile. Now, local SEO. Yeah, we looked at local SEO. Now, optimizing your online presence to attract local customers and clients. While we're looking at this, we looked at Google My Business. And at this point, I want to believe some of you are currently using Google My Business. Let me head back to class. Okay, someone is asking, what do you mean by use a good backlink? So I think I would explain that moving forward. But then there are websites that are there are websites that would not be recommended you link to those websites. So you want to check their domain authority. You want to check for the credibility of these websites before you link to this website. So you do not want to link with certain websites that are selling illegal products. You do not want to link to certain websites that are promoting things that doesn't align with your business, or websites that are blacklisted. All of these things are things that you need to check and be sure before you link to that website. You want to make sure that any website you are linking to has high authority. Now, I just looked at Google My Business. So let me see. After our class on Google My Business, we looked at how to set up a profile, verification, and a couple of other things. Some people asked me questions on about Google My Business, how to set it up, and how to take advantage of this service by Google. So I want to know, is there anyone here that has implemented Google My Business for their personal business, or or have actually helped a brand to improve their local listing with Google My Business. Is there anyone that has done that? So waiting for your chats. I'm waiting for your chats. Now, how do you check domain authority and credibility? Now, you can check this using some SEO tools I mentioned, like SEMrush, Href. Uber suggests too. I think Moz. I think with Moz, Moz, they have a feature that can help you check for the domain authority of a brand. So, has anyone implemented Google My Business? Okay, Sarah said she has used Google My Business for her business. That's great. So I hope you have been able to fill out all the required feeds on Google My Business. Okay, well, I think for setting up Google My Business, well, I'm not. I think you can do that with your phone. Basically, you can access it with your phone. Google My Business, you can access it with your phone. So what you just need to do is ensure you have a physical location request for verification, so that the team at Google can verify that, yeah, this is your business and you are the actual owner before they can have it display on the map. Okay, Yetunde says she has. Okay, that's great. Okay, food safety TV. Yeah, yes, please. Okay, that's great. So now it just doesn't end there. After you have verified Google My Business, you want to share posts, you want to encourage people to leave reviews. So the more reviews they leave, what that does is that it helps Google to rank your business a lot more higher when someone searches for keywords that are related to your business. So it's very important. Now let's head back to the notes. For strategies now, you have to claim and optimize your Google My Business profile. You want to ensure consistent name, address, and phone number information across, and you want to encourage and respond to customer reviews. Very important. Now, content marketing, where you distribute valuable content to attract and engage a target audience. Now, this is also a strategies for backlink, where you create valuable content that people can link to. Now, why off-page SEO matters? It helps you to build page authority, improves your ranking, it increases visibility, and it helps to enhance trust and credibility. Now, tools for off-page SEO. Now, someone asked me for tools. Um, who was that? Yeah, love it. Now she asked me for tools. Here are some tools that you can look at. Href, it's useful for backlink analysis, competitor research, and finding link building opportunities. SEMrush, it offers insight into your backlink profile, domain authority, and off-page SEO strategies. Now, Moz Link Explorer helps track backlinks, analyze competitors' link profile, and discover link building opportunities. Now, Bosumo identifies popular content and influencers in your industry, aiding in content promotion and influencer outreach. Now, all of these tools, for majority of them, they offer free trial, so you can sign up for their free trial. And what you will be doing basically at this point, you want to take advantage of this free trial and check out the features and see how they work. Okay, that way you have first-hand experience on how these tools work, and you can confidently speak to someone about optimizing their website. Now, in summary, here it says off-page SEO is a crucial aspect of a comprehensive SEO strategy. Now, let's take a look at on-page SEO versus off-page. Now, there's keyword optimization, meta description, internal linking, title tags, URL structure, and alt tags. Now, for off-page, we have local SEO, backlinking, guest posting, and promotion. Now, looking at the similarities, now let's take a look at the similarities between off-page and off-page. Now, goal-oriented. Now, both on-page and off-page aims to improve a website's visibility. I mean, either of them, they are all channeled towards one goal: to help a website rank more. And they both help in the user experience. Now, both of them helps to offer a seamless experience, engaging on that website. So these are something that they do. And then complementary practices. These strategies work together. Effective on-page SEO creates a solid foundation that off-page SEO can build upon. For example, well-optimized content on website, which is on page, is more likely to attract backlinks, which is off page. Now let's take a look at some core differences right here. So let me head back to class if we have any question. Okay, someone says, I tried running Google Ads, but I was tired at section where I was asking for heading 1, 2, and 3. Please, what does heading mean? So we're going to be looking at that by tomorrow. We're going to be looking at that by tomorrow. So when we look at that by tomorrow, I'm going to share more insights. I'm going to share more insights on how to use the Google AdWord and how to basically find your way around it and create a campaign and how you can launch a campaign. Yeah, don't worry. When we get to that by tomorrow, we're going to look at everything. But for today, let's just ensure that we know where we're at and we are able to get a hold of our journey so far, where we started from and where we are at the moment. Now, let's take a look at some of the differences in terms of focus area, internal factors within the website, while off-page external factors, fully controlled by the website, partially or fully outside the direct control of the website owner. So what we have here are some key differences between on-page and off-page SEO. So impact on SEOs. Now, direct impact on websites relevance and usability of search engines. Now, it has direct impact on websites authority and perceived trustworthiness by search engine. So here on the key takeaways, on-page SEO focusing on optimizing the content and elements within your website to improve its relevance, while off-page is about enhancing your website's authority and reputation through external efforts, such as building quality backlinks, engaging on social media, and earning mentions on other reputable websites. Now, this is a key takeaway from on-page and off-page SEO. Now, back to class. At this point, we just quickly ran through what on-page and off-page SEO is, and um, while looking at on-page SEO, I saw your comments, which was really, really great to see that you understand on-page SEO and you have great insights about what it is. Now, we just finished reviewing the notes on off-page SEO. So I want to see your comments. I want to see your thoughts on, off-page SEO, and let me know how much you understand what off-page SEO is, and if you have some questions about off-page SEO, link building, backlinking, guest posting, um, social mentions, influencer outreach. Let me get to hear your questions, and we can look at it from those angles. Okay, so first of all, let's do what we did the first time. Let me see your comments. So let me see your comments. So for those who understands off-page SEO, now you are confident about your knowledge on off-page SEO. Let me see your comments. Just type off-page SEO, so I'll know we're together, so we know we're actually doing this, we know we are smashing this. Let me see your comments. Off-page SEO, let me see your comments. I'm not seeing. Okay, I've seen a comment from Gracious Chris. I've seen a comment from Gracious Chris. Uh, okay, Is she the only one that understands off-page SEO? Okay, I've seen a comment from Lizzie Okafor. Okay, Peace is saying she didn't know that social media posts and influencer outreach are off-page SEO efforts. Of course, they are off-page SEO efforts, and that was why I emphasized on what off-page SEO is. Now, off-page SEO basically refers to things that are not done directly on your website that influences your website's ranking. Now, that's what off-page SEO is. Now, if you check for some of the things that impact your off-page SEO ranking. Now, these are not things that you have direct control over, but in a way you can influence them. Now, you can create good quality content. That way, people get to engage with your content, mention your content, and basically speak about it. Now, it also adds to how relevant your content is and generally what you're doing in the market space. So, of course, it is part of off-page SEO. So as long as whatever you're doing, you're not doing it on the web page in order to rank it, it has to do with off-page SEO. Okay, I'm seeing your comments. I'm seeing your comments. Okay, you know more about SEO. Now, one of the ways you can implement SEO, yeah, I we looked at Uber Suggest. Okay, now that's a tool that you can use to analyze the website. It is intuitive, based on the things that we have spoken about so far. Can I use on page and off page SEO at the same time? Of course, you can use them. It's important you do them simultaneously. In fact, they work hand in hand. They work hand in hand. It's important that as you are trying to optimize a page for it to rank well, you are also creating great content that people would want to reference. You are creating valuable materials that people would want to link to by creating good content. So they work hand in hand. Implementing all of these things together helps you to achieve a complete SEO strategy. So you do not want to start with off-page SEO and leave on-page SEO. Yeah, on page and leave off page SEO. You want to make sure that you have all of these things working together at the same time. Yeah, you need them both. You need them both. And after now, we're going to be looking at a technical SEO, which involves some technical aspect of SEO, where we'll be looking at um, certain TXT files that you might need to add, just to help, just to complete setting setup, just to complete setting setup. Now, there's also something I would recommend you do. There are resources like this online on YouTube with the basic knowledge you have right now. You can check for videos where they are optimizing a WordPress website. WordPress is pretty much it's a platform that is actually intuitive. It's a drag and drop platform. You can watch how SEO is implemented on that website. Okay, and over time you can actually try that your end. Okay, you can try that your end as well. And with this will help you build relevant and real life experience on how to actually carry out SEO on a website. Now, at this point, we will be looking at technical SEO. We'll be looking at technical SEO. We'll be looking at the technical aspects of SEO. So far, so good. We have looked at on-page SEO. We have looked at off-page SEO briefly. Now let's touch on technical SEO. Now, what is technical SEO? Now, it refers to the process of optimizing the infrastructure of a website to help search engines like Google, Bing, and others scroll and index your website more effectively. Now, it involves making technical improvements to ensure that your website meets the technical requirements of search engines to achieve higher rankings. This includes enhancing the site speed. We spoke about how it's important that you make your website fast. You want to enhance your site speed. You want to ensure your website is mobile friendly, it's secured, and um, basically your website is performing optimally. Now let's take a look at some key concepts of technical SEO. Now the first is crawlability. Now if Google or Bing cannot crawl your website, that means they do not know what your website is about and they cannot display it out to people. So first of all, you want to make sure that your website is crawlable, or whatever platform you are working on, it is crawlable. You have given Google access to be able to crawl that page. Now, in order to achieve this, you want to create an accurate robot.txt file to guide search engine both on which page to crawl or avoid. Now, I know you might be asking what's a robot.txt file. Now, if you're trying to set up SEO on a content management system like WordPress and you start installing the Yoast SEO plugin, you're going to be given a robots.txt file when you're trying to set up the system so you can add it to your website. That way, search engine can easily crawl to your website. Now, indexability, we spoke about how search engine work. You want to make sure that all the links on your website are updated, so that search engine can crawl and they can index pages on your website. So it's also a thing with technical SEO. Now, if you only have great websites, if you have great content, it's well optimized, and you have all of your off-page SEO working, but then you do not have your technical SEO, your website is not submitted to Google, then how is Google going to show your website up to people? Now, that cannot work because you are not in the system already. So when you are in the system, Google can easily show your website to people. So that's why it's important that Google can crawl and index your website. Now you want to look at your site architecture and structure. Now this refers to the way your website is organized and how different pages are interconnected. Now your URL structure. It's very important that you have a good URL structure. Now the format and and arrangement of URL on your website, you want to make sure it is clean. You want to keep your URL short and descriptive and relevant to the content. Now about this, let me take you to my um uh someone is saying you don't understand what I said by robots. So basically, I would recommend you watch other classes. And then at first I spoke about how Google index websites. Okay, now at the moment we have millions of websites, and Google is able to index these websites by using their search engine bots and crawlers. Now when you initiate a search online, how is Google able to provide results of relevant pages? It's because of these robot files. It's because of these so-called robots. Now there are called search engine spiders. There are quite a number of things you can actually call them. So what they do, let's just assume that they are bots. And what they do is these bots, whenever a user, so whenever you initiate a search on Google, Google has a lot of website it is indexing. Now, whenever you ask a question, now what happens is that this bot goes around the internet. It goes to all of the links on the internet because it has indexed these links. It can now deliver relevant results based on what you have searched for. So now that's what this bot does, or that's what this so-called Google bot does. So they help you to find out this information and display it to you. Yeah, so I hope you understand what this robot means right now. So that's how Google and other search engines are able to pull off content everywhere around the web and then display relevant content to you. Now, those things are really fast. That's why you can carry out the search and they can search the billions of links on the internet and deliver relevant results to you in a very short time. Now we're on technical SEO. Now URL structure. I wanted to show you something on URL structure. So for some of you who might not know what URL structure is, let me take you to the back end of my website so I can just show you what URL structure looks like, or different formats of URL structure, and how you can set up this URL structure actually. Whoa, my plugins have expired. I'm going to look at this. So let's head over to settings. So let me show you how that is done, or how I was able to do that here on my website. So let's go to permalinks. Now we spoke about ensuring that your URL is short. Now you can see there are quite a couple of URL structures right here. There is the URL structure that is plain. There is the one that has the day and time, so I wouldn't want to show the day and time to my users. There's the one that has the month and name. There's the one that has numeric, and then there's one that just has the post name. Now this is the one that I am currently using on my website. What this means is that I have selected the right URL structure, something very simple that search engine can easily see, read, and understand. Now, this URL structure, it just has the name of my website and then the actual name of the page that I want to be displayed. Now, these are also some things you need to take note of when you are trying to set up a new website. So you want to ensure that the website is short, descriptive, and it's easy for search engine to read through. So that's that for URL structure. So by 9 p.m., 8 p.m. rather, we will be going for a short break, for a 5-minute break. So you can use this time to take your attendance. And when we return, we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to complete this lesson, and then we head back to SEM. That way, at that point, I'm sure you would have a good understanding of all these concepts that I have explained, and how we started and where we are at the moment. Okay, we're back now. Hello everyone, you're welcome back. I hope you have marked your attendance. Okay, I see your attendance marked. Attendance marked. That's great. That is great. So let's get back to where we stopped. Looking at page speed optimization. Let me share my screen right away. Now we looked at URL structure. We just finished looking at URL structure. And next, let's take a look at page speed optimization. Now you want to ensure that your website is fast, and how do you ensure this is possible? You want to minimize the HTTP requests, that is combining files which include CSS and JavaScript. You want to also ensure, like I said initially, you want to use pictures that are lightweight. And one of the most effective way you can do this, you can increase your website speed is by using a delivery network to serve content faster. So what this does is that your content are no longer served from your server, is served via a content delivery network, which makes it very fast for your website to deliver its content to its user. So a CDN is more like a third party that helps you to deliver your content over the internet. So if you have lots of videos, having a CDN would really help you to optimize content delivery. And that's why um, you get to see platforms that offer online education with a lot of videos. You are still able to access their servers very fast, is because they have CDNs. And what this CDN does is that all of these huge video files are not hosted directly on that system that you are browsing on. So it's being delivered via a CDN. Now, mobile friendliness. So you want to ensure that your website is mobile friendly. We looked at this. I think I made a reference with HubSpot where I showed you how it looks on desktop and then how it looks on mobile. So I made that illustration. So moving forward, you want to ensure that your website is secured, or any website that you are accessing is secured, which brings us to secure socket layer, which is SSL and HTTPS. Now you want to ensure that SSL is active on the website that you are managing, and it's also important that if you are browsing on the internet, you want to ensure that any website that you intend to share share any form of personal information, you want to ensure that that website is secured and your data cannot it's not sent through an unsecured network. Now that's something you need to look out for. And how do you ensure, or how do you check that a website is secured? Now what you need to do is, once you are on the browser, you just click on this icon here, and then you're going to see the connection is secure. Once you click on this, it shows you that your information, for example, password or credit card numbers, is private when it's sent to this site. So this is how you need to check, and you want to ensure that it's available on the project that you're working on. Now up next, let's take a look at um, canonical tags. We spoke about this, which helps you to avoid duplicate content on your website. When you have to add this code to the head element, that way it's able to um, help search engines understand the content on your website a lot more better. Now, the next one here is structured data, which is schema mockup. Now, this is a code that is added to your web page, to provide additional context to search engine about the content. Now, basically, these are things that when you are setting up your system, if you're implementing this on WordPress, it's going to be part of the setup wizard, and you're going to be guided, and you're going to see directions on how you can add this code and where to add them. Now, XML site map, it's a file that lists all the important pages on your website, and it provides metadata about each page. It makes it easy for search engine to crawl your website. So what you need to do is that you need to create and regularly update your sitemap when you add new pages, and you want to submit the sitemap to Google, Search Console, and Big Webmaster. That way they can index your website regularly, and they get to find the new pages that um, have been added to your website. Now, this is a visual representation of a sitemap, what it looks like visually, but then a sitemap is an XML file. So this is just a visual representation of how what your sitemap could look like. So from the home page, the user can get to your blog resources, they can log in, they can find your solutions, they can find your products. For products, they can start a tour, or they can take a free trial. So this is just a visual representation of how your website is structured. Now, 404 error redirections. Now, it occurs when a page is not found. So while redirection guide users from an old URL to a new one. So there can be a couple of reasons why this happens. And most especially is when you change domains. So you can change the domain of your website. When you do so, a couple of pages will be broken. And when people try to access that page, they will get to see a 404 error. So you want to make sure that it is fixed. Moving forward, now I want to look at why technical SEO matters. It ensures that search engines can crawl and index your website. Now, I spoke about this a couple of times. If search engines cannot do it, then you cannot even get started with the ranking process. Now, it improves user experience, it maximizes search visibility. Tools for technical SEO, we look Google Search Console, Streaming Frog, SEO Spider, GT Metrics. Now you can take a look at these two, Href, Site Audit, and Lighthouse. Now, in summary, technical SEO is the foundation of successful SEO strategy. By optimizing your website's technical elements, you ensure that search engines can effectively crawl, index, and understand your content, which is crucial for achieving higher rankings and better visibility. Regularly auditing and refining these elements can help maintain optimal website performance and user experience. Now, like the name implies, technical SEO, it has to do with a bit of technicalities actually, where you have to add certain files to certain parts on a website. And depending on the content management system you are working on, you likely see a guide on where you can add all of these files and to complete this process. So let me head back to class. Okay. Okay. I just finished going through what technical SEO is. So let me know if you have any questions on technical SEO, if you have any concerns about technical SEO. But then at this point, I've been able to highlight a couple of things that you need to look out for when you want to check for how much technical setup has been done on a website. So let me see if you have any questions, any concerns about what technical SEO is, and I'll be glad to respond to them. So let me see your comments. If you have any concern, any questions about technical SEO, yeah, let's get right into it. So far so good. Why I anticipate your questions. Now let's take a look at where we started and where we are at the moment. Now we started from on-page SEO. We looked at off-page SEO. At the moment, we are looking at technical SEO. Okay, yeah, we've looked at technical SEO. I suppose, let me see where are we at, just to be very sure. 15. Yeah, we're currently looking at technical SEO. We're currently looking at technical SEO. Now, someone is asking, what is content delivery network? Now, content delivery network simply means CDN. Now, let's look at this. Now, what is a CDN? Now, content delivery network. Content delivery the network. What content delivery network does is it helps you to deliver your content. Now, a lot of businesses, I'm sure they use content delivery network. Now, let's take a look at some examples of what content delivery network is. Now, let's take a look at an image. Let's see if we're in class. Okay, great. Now let's look for an image and let's see what a CDN is. Now this is, if you can see this image, a CDN, it's more like a cloud service. Now what happens is that instead of hosting your content like videos, music, and web pages on your server, which is your website. Now, if you host all of these things on your website, it's going to make it slow. Now, what you can do is you can host this content on this CDN. Now, what happens is that all of this content are no longer on your server. Now, once this content are no longer on your server, when people are trying to access a page where these contents are, instead of delivering this content from your server, it's going to be delivered from the CDN. Now, doing this is going to ensure that your website is lightweight. Your website doesn't require a lot of time for you to deliver this content down to people. And this is a similar service that a lot of huge businesses use. Businesses like Google, I'm sure they have a CDN because there are tons of videos on YouTube. Now, if Google wants to load videos locally, it's going to take a lot of time for these videos to load. So what I do is that these videos are on a CDN and then it's being delivered to you. Now, if you have added videos to a website, you would realize that they would ask you to get a link. Now, once you get a link from either YouTube or Vimeo, what it does is that the video just plays on your system, but then the original video is still somewhere else. Now, that's what a CDN helps you to do. I hope by now you have a basic understanding of what a CDN is. Now let's take a look at some definition. A content delivery network or content distribution network is a geographically distributed network of proxy servers and their data centers. This goal is to provide high availability and performance by distributing the service, especially relative to end users. Now, let me head back to class. I hope with this explanation, you have an idea of what a CDN is. I try opening a website by using my name to open it like you did to your website, but then I need the domain name, the name that appears beside the account will be my business name. How do I do that, sir? Now, hosting on CDN is not free, actually. It's not free. You have to pay for a CDN. It's not free. I haven't actually used it before, and I can't really say for sure if they offer a free service. No, it's actually not free. It's not free. So I have worked for a company that offers this service, and while I was with them, it wasn't free. You could only get a free trial to get to see how this service works, but then over time, if you want to keep using the service, you have to pay. Now, Gracious is asking about getting a domain, getting a domain basically. So now there are a lot, there are a lot of domain vendors out there that you can get domains from. Okay, now we have GoDaddy, we have Namecheap. Now these are all foreign companies. But then if you want to look inwardly, if you want to look inwardly on hosting providers in Nigeria that accepts payments in Naira. Now, for some of these other hosting providers like Namecheap, Hostinger, Bluehost, and others, you would have to pay with a dollar card. And for some people, it might be challenging because you have to start looking for how to convert the rate and everything. But then you can look at some Nigerian hosting providers like QServer. I've used them. Google Host, I think now they have a different name, but then they also offer domain. So you can buy it from there, get a hosting plan, and that's how you, or that's the first step towards getting a website. Now, I hope the explanation for CDN is clear. I hope you now get the idea of, what a CDN is and how it can basically be used by businesses to deliver content. So I head back to the notes. Let's head back to the notes and see. Now, looking at the summary, technical SEO is the foundation of a successful SEO strategy. By optimizing your website's technical elements, you ensure that search engines can easily crawl and understand the content on your website. Okay, now we have looked at the practicals of these things, okay? I made sure that I walked you through the practicals of on-page SEO and even some parts of off-page SEO too. Now, like I said, on-page SEO are things that you have full control over, while off-page SEO are things that you have limited control over, but then I've walked you through how you can actually get these things done. So we've looked at a couple of practicals, and then we also looked at how you can use Uber Suggest to carry out SEO audits. So if you haven't attended the previous classes, go watch the replay, and you're going to see all of these things in action. Now, what are keywords? Now, keywords, we've been hearing about keywords. We use keywords while we were talking about on-page SEO. We also use keywords while we were talking about SEM, because you need keywords in order to rank your content and in order to scale your ads. Now, keywords are phrases or terms that users enter into search engines to find relevant content, products, or services. Now, keyword research, we looked at how you can carry out keyword research using Uber Suggest, where you can just search for certain keywords in your industry. You can see which keyword is driving the most traffic to your competitor's website. Now, tools for keyword research: Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush, and um, href. Now, let's take a look at Google Keyword Planner. Let's see. Google Keyword Planner. Okay, now this is on Google. So we're going to look at this basically. So this is on Google AdWords. This is on Google AdWords. So yeah, I just, thank goodness I remember this. I'm going to add this to my bucket list of things that we'll be doing tomorrow. So we're going to be looking at Google Keywords Planner tomorrow. It's on Google AdWords. We're going to look at how it works, and you can discover new keywords, and you can get search volumes and forecast. Okay, so we're going to look at this. Start with keyword, start with a website, and we can analyze the keywords and get to see which keyword is performing. You get to look through the site and everything. So we're going to look at this by tomorrow when we are looking at Google Ads. So I just want, for tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the Google AdWords environment and how to find our way around it. So we're going to save that for later. I'll just add that to the lecture notes so I don't miss it. So back to notes. On keywords, we made mention of short tail keywords and long tail keyword. I mean, I've spoken about this. Short tail and long tail keyword. I've also looked at informational keywords, navigational keywords, and when to use this sort of keyword. We looked at commercial keywords and transactional keywords, also primary keywords, secondary keywords, geo geo-targeted keywords, and LSI keywords as well. So these are things we have looked at. Now there are different kinds of keyword. I'll just uh, go through them quite fast, basically. Now, for informational keywords, you want to know the kind of keywords that people are searching in order to find your product. Now, let's take a look at this example: how to train a puppy. As an example of informational keywords, consider the phrases, the phrase like how to train a puppy, how to train a puppy. User employed this query types when seeking knowledge on a specific topic. Now they are basically looking for information, so that's why they are using this keyword. Now, if you know people use this certain keyword in order to find certain information, you can create content around this keyword and then you promote your product that's going to help better train their puppy. Now, for navigational keywords, navigate terms include branding like a company name, Amazon or Tesla. Typically, people use navigational keywords to locate certain web pages. Now, for commercial keywords, now this might involve searches such as best piano for beginners. Now, indicating prospective buyers conducting preliminary research before purchasing. Now, catering to commercial queries improves the chances of directing warm prospect towards sales channel. Now, what this is saying is that if you realize that people use this form of keyword best piano for beginners, now anyone who is searching for this keyword, basically this person is interested in learning how to play a piano and they are looking for recommendations. So what you can do is you can create a blog post that is going to help them to identify the different types of piano, and then as a beginner help them recommend which of them to buy. And then if you have a link on your website that is offering them a discount where they can get their first piano, that is actually going to do a lot. That's actually going to help you to make more sales. So you want to actually get a hold of these kinds of keyword and use them in your content. So I'm going to move quite fast right now. Now, for content optimization, we spoke about what content optimization is. Is the process in is content optimization is the process of ensuring that content on your website is well written and formatted. Now, you want to make sure that your heading structure is right, your keyword placement, your content has the right length. You don't want to write a very, very short content. Now, looking at some types of posts that can help you build up a content, we have blog posts, which is a regularly updated article that targets specific keywords. We also want to look at landing pages as well. We looked at this. Now, for content structure, we have the heading, keywords, placement, length. Okay, this is okay. I think I have to format this then. Now, link building, we looked at link building. Now, this is we going deep into what link building is the process of acquiring hyperlinks from other websites to our own. I mean, we've looked at what link building is. We looked at what types of links are. Natural links, these are earned organically when other sites links to your website because they find it valuable. Now, this is other site now getting backlinks from your website. Now, manual links acquired through deliberate link building efforts. We made reference of how you can build backlinks and self-created links added in forums, blog, comments, or user profile. Now, looking at the strategies for link building, we spoke about guest blogging and other strategies for link building. Mobile SEO analysis. Okay, we've actually looked at local SEO. Now, this is just basically giving us a summary of what technical SEO is and a couple of things that we can do in order to optimize our technical SEO setup. Head back to class. Okay, back to class right now. So at this moment, we've looked at a couple of things we did on technical SEO. Now let's take a look at advanced SEO. Now this was the last lesson we took before we got started with SEM, which is search engine marketing. Now, on advanced SEO, we're going to be looking at a couple of things that we've seen on technical SEO. So I'm going to run through this fast, because on technical SEO it involves looking at some technical things as well. So that's why we are going to be seeing a lot of these things on technical SEO. A lot of things we looked at from advanced SEO. So for technical SEO, it focuses on optimizing the website infrastructure so that search engine can easily crawl and index it. Now we've looked at website architecture. We saw XML sitemap. We looked at robots.txt file. We saw this while we were talking about off page, about technical SEO basically. We looked at core budget optimization, site speed. We looked at HTTPS and SSL mobile optimization as well. And then we looked at structured data. Now, SEO, local SEO and Google My Business, this is something we looked at. I spoke about this as well. And this is basically the key aspect of local SEO. We have Google My Business, NAP citation, which is name, address, and phone number, local keywords, local backlinks, online reviews, mobile optimization, and geo-targeting. So we looked at this importance of local SEO. We spoke about this intensively when we were looking at Google My Business. It increases visibility, drives foot traffic, and targets potential customers. Benefits of Google My Business. We looked at this already. How it helps you to increase your customers, trust, and credibility. You also gain insight from the activities on your Google My Business page, and you can showcase your business update as well. Now, we looked at how to set up Google My Business. I went into the practical aspect of literally setting up Google My Business for you, and you see how it's being done. You want to complete your profile and add relevant information. You want to encourage reviews. You want to also utilize GMB posts because you can post and you can answer questions too to ensure that your page is interactive. Now, ranking factors for local SEO, we're looking at relevance, distance. We looked at how relevant your search or the search word used by the user is, and that's what is going to determine if your business is going to display on search results. Now, we looked at it's also based on prominence, backlinks, online reviews, and directly listed. Now, all of these things helps to build your domain authority. So if you have these things compared to other brands, you will certainly rank higher, or you have a high chance of ranking higher on organic search. Now, still under other advanced SEO, we still looked at some strategies that can help you to increase your on-page SEO too. Now we're getting into some more advanced. We are getting into some, just looking at some advanced part of it as well. We have seen mobile optimization. You can also embed Google Maps on your website. You can embed this on your website, and when you do this, it helps businesses to locate your website a lot more faster as well. And we looked at building local citations, which is also something that you can do or from your on-page SEO strategy. We looked at what business directories are and how you can list your business on certain business directories. Up next, we looked at networking, marketing, managing your online reviews for local SEO. We looked at the importance of reviews, why you should respond to them. Just if there's a bad review, you want to make sure you respond to it and tackle it. We've looked at some of these tools as well. Now we looked at content optimization for SEO as well. Key elements of SEO. I think these are things that we have spoken about already. I think this is like the comprehensive notes. So I'm going to move down. Okay, this is actually the comprehensive notes. We've spoken about all of these things already. Link building. Okay, this is actually the comprehensive note. So let's go down to where we pick up guest login, bank link. Okay, I think this is where we're at. Um, Now, in terms of link building, we have looked at all of this method of link building, social media promotion. I think this is where we are. Link building via partnership. We looked at collaborations too. We have spoken about this PR and digital media. Use PR tools, competitors backlink analysis, avoiding black hat link building. Yeah, we've looked at all of these things. Yeah, this is where we're at now, black hat and gray hat SEO. I spoke about this the other time where we looked at what black hat SEO is, gray hat SEO, and white hat SEO is. Now let me head over to the class to see if we have any questions. Okay, I see I don't have any question right here. Okay, here we are. So let's actually touch a bit about black hat and gray hat SEO. This was something we looked at, I think, the last few times. Now, all of this SEO refers to different approaches to search engine optimization based on how closely they align with search engine guidelines and ethical practices. Now, each of these methods affects the long-term success, risk, and outcome of SEO strategy. I know so far so good we have been talking about SEO, but then there are also some practices that are not recommended, that are bad for SEO, and if you implement it, you could get penalized. And when that happens, Google is going to blacklist your website. What this means is that it will no longer show up on organic search. So you really want to understand these things so that when you are speaking about SEO, when you want to implement this, you know some of the best best practices to implement, and then some practices that you should run away from. Now, black hat SEO, it involves using unethical and manipulative tactics to gain higher search rankings. Now, these techniques violate search engine guidelines, especially those set by Google, and while they may produce quick results, they carry a significant risk of penalties, including the indexing and removal from search engines entirely. Now, how does Black Hat SEO works? It focuses on exploiting the algorithm and loopholes, and it offers short-term gains, but then there's long-term penalties. Now, some common Black Hat SEO techniques. Now, let's look at this keyword stuffing. Remember when we were talking about on-page SEO, where we said you want to use keywords and you want to ensure they appear naturally. Now, if you stuff keywords on your content, it's known, or it is termed as black hat SEO, and then your website or your page could get affected. Now, if you are showing only one version of content to search engines and another version to users, it's also against search engine rules, where you are using hidden text links, where you have paid links, where you are buying backlinks from other websites in order to boost your authority instead of getting these backlinks naturally. So once you do a lot of these things, it's against what the search engine does. Content scraping, where you are copying content from other websites without adding value or permission. Link farms, where you create a network where you create a network of websites solely because you want them to link to your website, because you want to get these links easily, which is also more like the private blog network as well. Now, what are the risks? Now, there are penalties. Now, search engine like Google will penalize your site from using black hat SEO, and then it's one of the downsides is you're going to lose trust. Now, some key characteristics, risky but not illegal. I think this is for grey hat SEO. Now, grey hat SEO is a middle ground between black hat and white hat techniques. Now, it involves methods that aren't aren't strictly against search engine guidelines, but we push the boundaries of acceptable practices. Now, it's risky but not illegal. Now, grey hat techniques aren't necessarily forbidden, but they may be frowned upon by search engines if detected. Now, moderate risk. Now, these techniques can still lead to penalties if search engine update their algorithm or decide to target certain tactics. Now, we have examples of grey hat SEO, we have content spinning, we have using clickbait titles, duplicate content, buying expired domains, guest blogging for links, and creating micro websites. Now, for white hat SEO, it refers to the use of ethical, sustainable, and search engine approved strategies to improve um, search rankings. White hat SEO techniques focuses on providing valuable content, and a positive user experience, adhering to search engine guidelines. Now, basically, all of the good things we spoke about are under white hat SEO. So if you are doing all of the good things we spoke about here, well, you are adhering to white hat SEO, which is great and is going to impact the ranking. Now, these are just this is a chart or a table that is comparing gray hat, black hat, and white hat SEO. Now, here is the conclusion. Understanding the differences between black hat, gray hat, and white hat SEO is essential for building a successful and sustainable SEO strategy. Now, it's important that you understand what these different strategies entails, and that way you can easily implement the right strategies and get websites ranking as it should. Now, someone is asking, what do you mean by keyword stuffing? Keyword stuffing simply means when you are using when keywords are not appearing naturally on your website. Now, what do I mean? So, let's say you are creating a content and you are talking about digital marketing. So, what keyword stuffing means is basically when you keep repeating that keyword digital marketing too often because you want it to rank on search engine. That's actually going to affect readability, and search engine doesn't like that. So you want to make sure that you are using synonyms and this keyword appears naturally. Now have with that, we now have an overview of what we have done so far. Okay, I know it's been a long ride. Imagine, we have looked at on page SEO, off page SEO, we looked at technical SEO, advanced SEO, and also we've looked at some of the best practices in terms of managing SEO, which includes black hat, gray hat, and white hat. So at this point, let's head over to our notes for SEM. At this point, I believe we now have clear insight on how we started, how it all started and where we are at this time. So let's head over to the note and then let's look through what we have on the note and let's wrap this up. Now, yesterday we stopped at types of Google ad campaigns. This is something that we've actually looked at. We looked at what search ads are, what search campaigns are. So this is an example. I showed you what search campaigns look like. I did that yesterday where I initiated some search so you can see how it looks like. For search campaigns, they display text ads on Google search results pages when users search for specific keyword. Now, these ads are ideal for targeting high intent audience actively looking for products or services. Now, this is what the search ad looks like. You can see ad. Now, these are businesses running ads and ranking for this keyword. Now, display campaigns, we spoke about what display campaigns are when I took you through Naira Land, and we get to see all of these ads. Now, this is what it looks like, display ads. And the next one we have here is shopping campaigns. We also looked at it. Now, this is what shopping campaigns look like. You can see here it has the tag here called sponsored. So it tells you that this is a shopping kind of ad. And then video campaigns, which are ads on YouTube. This is something that a lot of us here are familiar with. So this is what YouTube look like, and this is an ad. It's also a kind of ad that you can run using Google AdWords. Now, app campaigns also, if you have some of these mobile apps, you get to see all of these ads on your mobile app as well. Now, creating Google ad campaign. So first, you need to create a Google ad account. You have to visit ads.com, ads.google.com in order for you to sign into your account. If you do not have, or you can create an account, you need to set up billing and other information, and then you can now select your campaign and start running your ads. So now this is what we're going to be looking at by tomorrow. We are going to be looking at how you can create a Google ad account, how you can set up your campaign and objective, how you can set up your budget and bidding, you select your audience and targeting, and then you choose keywords, then you can now add the content for your ad. You can now to create a landing page. There are ways you can create a landing page. If you have a website, you can just create a landing page and then get that link and add it to your Google ad campaign. Then you can launch and monitor your campaign. So we're going to be looking at setting metrics as well. Some metrics here, how you can measure setting metrics as well. And then this is just the conclusion of the notes on how we can navigate through Google Ads. And by tomorrow, we are going to go deep into it. Now, advanced ad creation and optimization. What this is saying is basically how we can advance our ads, okay, how we can monitor our ads and then ensure that we are able to get good results from our ads, basically. So, ad creation and optimization are crucial components of any successful digital marketing campaign. They involve the strategic development of advertisements and continually refining them to improve the performance. The process ensures that your ads effectively reach the right audience, deliver the right message, and achieve the desired results. Now, once your ad is active, you want to make sure you go in and optimize it, see what's working, see what's not working. With the data, you get to understand how your ad has been performing. Then, with that, you can optimize it. Now, some of the key elements of ad creations, or some of the key elements of ad creation, you want to look at audience targeting, which I spoke about. Now, with this, you can now optimize, you can now check your headline. Is it performing as expected? If it's not, you can create a variation. That's what this section is basically talking about. Now, we're looking at best practice for writing effective ad copy. You want to ensure the is clarity and relevance, value preparation, your keywords, brevity and focus. Add visuals, you want to optimize your images and videos and ensure you're using the right design elements. Now, the best practices for video ads, you want to ensure that there is clear focus, your branding is on the image, just like the one we saw yesterday from DSTV. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you have the right ad format. It's very important. Best practices on choosing the right format, ad optimization and key strategies, A/B testing and split testing. We spoke about. I think I have mentioned what A/B testing is. I've mentioned what A/B testing is. Keyword optimization. Still, you want to optimize your keyword and a couple of other things based on how your campaign is running and how it is performing. We also have the quality score. This is based off how relevant your campaign or your ad is based on certain keywords. So for if your ad has been seen by a lot of people, when I mean seen, when they search, they get to see your ad, they click on it, it shows that your ad is relevant and it increases your quality score. Bidding optimization, you want to also look through this and optimize it. So if you're bidding, if you realize you are spending a lot and you're not getting the result on investment, you'd want to review your bidding and then see what works or what optimization you can implement that will get you better results. Now, these are some optimization tips. So while we're actually looking at the Google ad ad platform, we're going to be setting up the ads and we're also going to be optimizing the ads as well. And here is the conclusion. And then, like I said, we're going to look at Google Keyword Planner tomorrow. I think I'm having a cold here. So we're at the end of this lesson. It's been such a lengthy lesson, I know, and for some reason, it's seeming like it's been overwhelming. Because of we had to look at everything that we have looked at initially before now, and all of those things are things that we have looked at before now to help us gain proper insight of what we have been doing so far so good. So at this point, I'll take your questions in general. If you have any question you want to ask, please bring them up, and if we do not have any question, we'll wait for tomorrow where we get into Google Ads, and then we look at how to set up ads and how to get it up and running. So your questions can start coming in. Okay, I can see comments from Yemi, very lengthy and indeed educative. Um, Thank you for that comment. Of course, it's a lot, but then it should not be so overwhelming because we have spoken about these things a couple of times. So at this point, it's just an opportunity for you to get to review everything that we've done, get to digest it a lot more better, and get to make sense of a couple of things that you might not have understood over time. So let me get your questions. I know I've answered a couple of questions while we were on the class, so you don't forget them. So let me know if you have any questions about. I spoke about gray hat SEO, white hat SEO, and black hat SEO, and also some things about technical SEO. So if you have any question regarding that, please let me have the questions. And if you don't, I would as well just we can just end the session and we can all go and rest. I know it's been such a such an interesting and busy day for all of us. So yeah, if we don't have any question, we could just have a good night rest and prepare for tomorrow where we get our hands dirty with Google AdWords, and we get to create some campaigns. She said this is the first time she enjoyed my class. Well, that's actually what happens when you dedicate interest towards something. You tend to understand it a lot more better because you are coming in with an open mind. And besides, SEO can be a bit complicated, especially if you come across it for the first time. But then over time, everything gets to make sense. Everything gets to make sense. Thanks for. We need to go right. At this point, I think I've gone over this session a number of times, so you can just watch the previous videos. That would help you. I still don't get clearly how you structure your URL. Now in terms of URL, it's based on the content management system you're actually working on. So once you create a page, automatically a URL is assigned to that page. The URL is assigned to that page. What you just need to do is to make sure that from the start you have the structure in place. That way, every other URL you create would follow the same structure. Okay, for technical SEO, now I can walk you on a road plan on a process that can help you, where you can get to implement a bit of this SEO, where you can get to implement the technical SEO. I can walk you through a certain process, okay, and I think that's what we I would look at how we can incorporate that in the future lessons, because moving forward now we'll be looking at your projects where you get to implement certain projects based on what you have learned, and where all of these things that you have learned you get to implement it. And at I'll look at the possibility of creating a basic WordPress website. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to draft out a process that could help you achieve that. So once you are able to achieve that, now you already have a full system that you can use to try out all of these things that you have learned in terms of setting up the site map, in terms of the XML codes, like every bit of these things that we have spoken about, then you can get your hands really there to doing all of these things. So I will look into that process and probably create a list of things that you do and resources that will get you to this point. Thank you very much. Someone Ichiro said the class was awesome. Thank you very much for that comment. It's been such a long day for everyone. I don't know about you, but for me, it's been such a long day for me as well. It's been such a long day for me. So I will look into that, but then it's going to be really really tasking at your end, because for you to do this, what you would need to do is basically you need to set up a WordPress website. That's what it means. So I'm going to draft out that process now. I'm also going to add links and resources that can help you achieve that. And we get to look at these things, so you get to do it at your end, and over time we get to follow up to see how much and how far you have gone. So thank you all for your time at today's class. I wish everyone a good night rest, and hopefully by the grace of God we'll see by tomorrow, where we will be concluding our session for this week. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Please have a good night rest. And like I said, we'll see you by tomorrow. Take care.